One Transformers combiner was so massive and uncontrollable that even his own team could barely stop him once he combined. But the most terrifying combiner on this list was created from pure hatred and almost destroyed everyone around him. Monstructor, the horror movie combiner. Some Transformers look heroic even when they are dangerous, but Monstructor looks terrifying the moment he appears. He was created from the Monster Pretenders, a group of strange Transformers designed to resemble creatures from horror movies. 6 monster-like warriors combined together to form one giant beast called Monstructor. Instead of looking clean or mechanical, his body appears wild, uneven, and mutated. That design made him stand out from other combiners immediately. Monstructor also suffers from an unstable personality. His mind often feels confused and out of control, making him dangerous to enemies and allies at the same time. Many stories connect him to dark experiments and corrupted Transformer technology. Fans compare him to a giant movie monster because he feels less like a soldier and more like a living nightmare. Unlike organized combiners, Monstructor brings chaos wherever he goes. He proves that some combiners are not powerful heroes. They are walking disasters waiting to destroy everything around them. Rail Racer, the fastest train giant. During Transformers, Robots in Disguise, fans were introduced to Rail Racer, one of the most unique Autobot combiners ever created. He forms when several train Autobots combine into one giant warrior. Since trains are already massive vehicles, Rail Racer becomes incredibly large after combining. What surprised fans most was his speed. Even with his huge size, he could move quickly through cities and battlefields without feeling slow or heavy. Rail Racer became especially popular in Japan because bullet trains already had a strong cultural connection there. Forming him correctly also required strong teamwork because each train bot needed to stay perfectly coordinated during battle. Unlike reckless combiners, Rail Racer fought with discipline and precision. He often protected cities from Decepticon attacks while avoiding unnecessary destruction around civilians. His design felt different from military-based combiners because he represented speed, teamwork, and control instead of pure violence. Rail Racer showed that giant Transformers could still move with incredible speed and agility. Ruination, the evil military machine. Ruination feels like the darker and more dangerous version of Bruticus. He is formed when military vehicles combine together into one giant machine built entirely for destruction. Tanks, helicopters, and armored vehicles all merge into a massive warrior obsessed with battle. Unlike many combiners who struggle to cooperate, Ruination becomes frightening because his aggression grows even stronger after combining. His personality feels unstable, violent, and constantly hungry for combat. In some stories, outside manipulation and mind control increased his brutality even more, turning him into a weapon that could barely be controlled. During Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Ruination created some of the most destructive battles in the series. His military appearance also made him feel realistic compared to more colorful Transformers. Fans remember him because he acted like a living war machine instead of a normal character. Ruination proves that teamwork can become terrifying when every member shares the same love for destruction and chaos. Computron, the supercomputer. Warrior. Most combiners rely on strength first, but Computron became famous because of his intelligence. He forms when the Technobots combine into one giant transformer with a mind powerful enough to process endless calculations within seconds. Computron can predict enemy attacks, calculate battle outcomes, and create strategies faster than almost anyone else in the Transformers universe. That makes him one of the smartest combiners ever created. However, his greatest strength also creates a weakness. Computron understands logic perfectly, but emotions confuse him. He sometimes struggles to understand unpredictable behavior or emotional decisions during battle. That makes chaotic enemies difficult for him to handle because they act irrationally instead of logically. His battles against reckless Decepticons often forced him into situations his calculations could not fully predict. Fans liked Computron because he felt very different from violent combiners focused only on destruction. He represented intelligence and strategy instead of raw power. Computron proved that knowledge and calculation can become just as dangerous as physical strength. Predaking. The Beast King. Animal-based transformers always feel different from machine-based warriors, and Predaking is one of the best examples of that idea. He is formed when the Predacons combine together into one giant beast-like warrior filled with raw aggression. Unlike cleaner and more controlled combiners, Predaking fights with pure instinct and fury. His movements often feel wild and savage instead of tactical. That animal behavior makes him terrifying because he acts more like a predator hunting prey than a trained soldier following orders. Predaking is also incredibly powerful physically. He can overpower Autobots using brute strength alone and destroy enemies with overwhelming force. In cartoons and comics, many battles involving Predaking feel chaotic because he is difficult to fully control. Fans loved his design because it mixed animal features with giant robotic armor. He looked powerful, even before transforming. Predaking represents the idea that deep inside every war machine, there can still be a wild beast waiting to break free during battle. Victorian. The first female combiner. Victorian became an important part of Transformers' history because she was introduced as the first major female combiner. She was formed by the Torchbearers, a group of female Autobots who combined together into one giant warrior focused on justice and protection. Unlike darker combiners built for destruction, Victorian fought to defend innocent lives and stop dangerous threats. Her personality felt noble, determined, and heroic from the beginning. She also carried a powerful sword that made her combat style feel fast and aggressive instead of slow and heavy. Fans connected with Victorian quickly because she brought a fresh energy into the Transformers universe. Older combiners often felt angry or unstable, but Victorian stayed focused and disciplined during battle. Her creation also expanded the idea of what combiners could represent. She was not a monster or mindless weapon. She was a protector. Victorian proved that giant combiners could inspire hope and heroism instead of only fear and destruction. Superion. The Sky King of the Autobots. Superion was created when the Autobots realized they needed a way to fight giant Decepticon combiners. The aerial bots combined together to form this massive flying warrior built for air combat and heavy battles. Unlike many other combiners, Superion could dominate the skies with incredible speed, powerful weapons, and long-range attacks. His huge firepower made him one of the Autobots' strongest weapons during the war. He also became famous for his rivalry with Menasor, since both combiners represented opposite sides of teamwork and leadership. Even though Superion was heroic, he struggled with emotions and independent thinking because the minds of the aerial bots often clashed during combination. That sometimes made him slow to react during difficult situations. In classic Transformers cartoons, Superion appeared in many memorable battles against Decepticons, threatening entire cities. Fans loved his clean design and powerful flying abilities. Superion became the Autobots' answer to the overwhelming power of giant Decepticon combiners threatening Cybertron and Earth. Menasor. The giant built from hate. Very few combiners feel as unstable as Menasor. He is formed when the Stunticons combine together, but the biggest problem is that the Stunticons cannot stand each other. Their personalities constantly clash, creating anger and chaos inside the combined body. That internal conflict makes Menasor feel violent and unpredictable during battle. Instead of calm teamwork, he operates through rage and brute force. Menasor also developed major rivalries with both Optimus Prime and Superion, leading to some of the most destructive fights in Transformers history. His incredible strength allowed him to overpower enemies physically, but his unstable personality often caused reckless destruction everywhere he went. In cartoons, entire areas were destroyed during his rampages because he could barely control his own power. Fans found Menasor fascinating because he represented toxic teamwork taken to the extreme. Even while combined, the Stunticons still hated one another. Menasor proves that teamwork built on anger and selfishness can quickly turn into complete chaos and destruction. Bruticus. The walking tank. Bruticus is one of the most dangerous Decepticon combiners because he was built entirely from military vehicles. The Combaticons combined together to create a giant warrior designed for warfare and destruction. Tanks, helicopters, armored trucks, and missile carriers all become part of one massive machine loaded with weapons. That military design gives Bruticus overwhelming firepower, capable of destroying almost anything in front of him. His combat strength is incredible, and he can crush Autobots through raw force alone. However, Bruticus is not known for intelligence. Compared to smarter combiners, he acts more on instinct and aggression than strategy. That lack of control often causes problems because he destroys everything around him, including allies standing too close during battle. Many classic Transformers battles showed Bruticus charging directly into combat like a living tank with no fear at all. Fans loved him because he felt unstoppable once he started attacking. Bruticus is not simply a warrior. He feels like a giant weapon created only for endless war and destruction. Volcanicus, the dinosaur. Apocalypse. When the Dinobots combine together, the result is Volcanicus, one of the wildest combiners in Transformers history. Since the Dinobots already struggle with discipline individually, combining them creates pure chaos on a massive scale. Volcanicus looks enormous, prehistoric, and almost unstoppable during battle. His dinosaur-inspired appearance makes him stand out from more mechanical combiners because he feels ancient and savage at the same time. One of the biggest problems with Volcanicus is control. The Dinobots constantly balance teamwork against their wild instincts, making the combined form difficult to manage. Instead of fighting with precision, Volcanicus attacks with raw fury and overwhelming strength. That unpredictability makes him dangerous to enemies and allies alike. Modern Transformers fans became especially interested in Volcanicus because his design feels both classic and fresh. He represents everything people love about the Dinobots combined into one giant warrior. Volcanicus proves that ancient instincts and massive power can create one of the most destructive forces in the Transformers universe, Devastator, the original combiner legend. Before most fans even knew what combiners were, Devastator changed Transformers forever. The Constructicons combined together to form this giant green Decepticon built entirely for destruction. Construction vehicles like bulldozers, cranes, and dump trucks merge into one enormous warrior capable of crushing almost anything in his path. Devastator quickly became legendary because audiences had never seen Transformers combine on that scale before. His gigantic size and raw power made him feel unstoppable during battles. Over the years, he appeared in cartoons, comics, games, and movies, becoming one of the most recognized Decepticons in the franchise. In Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, his live-action appearance shocked audiences because he looked massive enough to destroy entire pyramids with ease.